Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So big news for all the OCG players here, but the new OCG Forbidden and Limited list has just been announced like 15 minutes ago, so the news is still new and yeah, the updates are still rolling in. It's not really too sure yet about the erratas, since there are a lot of cards that are coming off of the list. A lot of big names and big broken cards from the past are coming off of the list again for the OCG, but of course with an errata. So at the moment of the video it's not really 100% confirmed, but as you see here, again I will always update everything as soon as it's 100% confirmed. But this list will be the OCG Forbidden and Limited list starting off for January 1st. 2017, and wow, this list is huge and all these big names coming off of the list. The OCG format is so interesting. Okay, let's start off with the first name. There's only one forbidden card, or at least one card that's going to be forbidden, and that's Magia Spectre Unicorn. We can understand that Unicorn is like a card that warps the format around it, and it's so good against a lot of decks. Many decks can't really play around it, and you know, it's like a compulsory with attack points. So I can see Magia Spectre Unicorn, well, it's justified, definitely. Also probably something for the TCG as well. Limited to 1. We have Terror Top. Well, I think we saw this one coming. It's like an indirect hit. Well, they of course hit Zodiac Beasts, but yes, still they have that 3 red triple triangle, for example. You know, Terror Top was one of the biggest shenanigans plays, the one of Terror Top, but yeah, that's something we definitely could have expected. Here, the first card coming off of the list, and that's Rescue Cat. Rescue Cat has been banned ever since like 2010-ish, around that for us TCG players. But yeah, Rescue Cat is getting an errata when it's return, at least when it's going to return to the OCG format. And at the moment of the video, as you see here, the errata states that Rescue Cat's effect can only be used once per turn. So monsters that were special summoned have no effects. Okay. Once per turn Rescue Cats, which, you know, Rescue Rabbit also, so why not Rescue Cat? Okay, that's a good limitation on the card. And then also Goyo Guardian is coming back for the OCG, and yeah, Goyo Guardian is also getting an errata. At the moment of video, it states that Goyo Guardian needs an Earth type tuner, so an Earth attribute tuner is needed for the synchro summon of a Goyo Guardian, which I think doesn't really matter too much. Goyo Guardian doesn't really see too much play here for the TCG, so this wasn't really needed to my knowledge. Dulorin is also going to be put to 1, but this guy, Brionac, Dragon of the Ice Barriers, the good old Brionac from back in the old days, you know, the shenanigans, and of course, Brionac is also getting an errata. Effect becomes once per turn and can only be used for cards on the opponent's field, and that's of course a big nuke to the card, since, you know, back in the day, discard your own Mizuki, gets sent back like a card of safe return on your side of the field, activate card of safe return again, use Mizuki's effect. You know the shenanigans of the OCG zombie builds, and yeah, Brionac just had to be errated if it was ever able to come back off of the list. Then we have Totally Awesome. Well, Tree Toad is also getting put to 1, which is something we can understand. This is also something that might follow to the TCG as well. Tanky is also a hit to Zodiac Beast, but one of the few hits to Zodiac Beast next to Terror Top. And yeah, the one of Tanky, well, it's a Searcher, so we can definitely understand this one. This is again another huge hit for ABCs, and that's Union Hanger. So the field spell is getting touched, and the field spell is getting put to 1, and that's a huge blow for ABC, since, you know, their biggest power relies in the field spell and the shenanigans it can do, and the amount of advantage you can get off of your field spell is such an unfair advantage compared to other decks as well, of course, but you know what I mean. The one of Union Hanger still in the deck. This is a huge hit for ABCs, not really sure if they can recover from this. The next card that's coming off of the list is Brain Control. Brain Control was banned in the old days, since it's just like Snatch Steal. was able to steal a lot of games. You know, the opponent ripping at one of brain control to take your monster like suicide for the +1, or just attack for game right, stealing the game right there. It's also getting an errata. You can only target monsters that can be normal summoned. So that's a huge hit for brain control, but still, it's brain control, right? Future Fusion, wow, Future Fusion as well, also coming off of the list, but also getting an errata. And now the card seems to be totally fair, is that the fusion materials will be sent to the grave only on your following turn's next standby phase. So Future Fusion needs to be phased up on the field for one whole turn during your opponent's turn as well, and from then on it will send the materials to the grave. So much slower Big Foolish Burial, so a huge limit on, yeah, good old Future Fusion. And the last card that's getting put to 1 is also like a huge big name, one of the biggest cards in this game's history, and it's Imperial Order. You know that one of the first ever floodgates, one of the best floodgates in this game's history, is also coming off of the list, but of course with an errata, and the upkeep costs to be paid during both players' turns. So during both players' turns you need to pay the cost, and the upkeep is mandatory, so the effect is mandatory for Imperial Order. But still, this is a very powerful card, and this limit doesn't seem to be too huge. Semi-limited Magician of Fate, which is fine. Dandelion is good. Definitely interesting to see the shenanigans with Quick Draw Synchron and, you know, the plant decks out there. So definitely interesting to see Dandelion back to 2. Unlimited Dragonfly. Here it is in sectors, getting back their power plays. Insector Dragonfly back to 3, although I'm not really too sure if it's going to have an impact. It might, people definitely want to try it out again, but not really sure if Insectors are going to make an impact. It might, but we'll see. Star Seraph Sovereignty, so the chair is also getting back off of the list for the OCG, you know, back in the Shadow days, I believe, with the stick chair shenanigans in the OCG. And yeah, from then on, the engine of stick chair was hit. But now the chair got back again off of the list. Same with Mathematician and Mizuki as well. And last but not least, El Shaddai Fusion. But yeah, Construct, well, yeah, Construct isn't there anymore, so okay, Shaddais are getting a few cards back. But still, a lot of big names coming off of the list, but you know, a lot of these cards definitely would not have been able to come back off of the list unless they would have gotten an errata, and that's something that was that happened to most of these cards. Brain Control, Future Fusion, Imperial Order, and so on. So this is going to have a huge impact on the OCG format. Zodiac Beasts were hit a little bit, but still, it's still pretty much at full force with their triple red. Drancia is still alive, and yeah, Triangle, that their limit, or at least their themed tanky, is still playable. Anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lead them signing out. Peace.